Hello, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. I decided to do this recording through my phone only because the last recording was trash and I did not like it. I didn't like the site I was using. So I think it's just best if I don't have the time to go live to just start recording them on my phone. It seems like the technology is a little bit better, and so is the volume and clarity and all that. But we have a big event happening tomorrow. And so let's get right to it. We are going to do the solar eclipse new moon forecast. So let's get right to it. So today we actually have a square that's happening. So if you feel a little out of sorts, that could be why. Squares have a tendency to bring extra tension and whatnot. But let's get going here. All right, so we call this, us astrologers, the Great Reset. Another word for it is hard set, a hard reset. And there is so much going on these next few weeks and beyond that it's going to be somewhat life-changing for a great many people. The last time we had a solar eclipse in Aquarius was back in February 2018 on February 15th. It was only a partial eclipse. Now, tomorrow's eclipse, February 17th, we have a solar annular eclipse in Aquarius. This is also called the Ring of Fire, and the reason it's called that, if you see the picture I posted, when it eclipses, it looks like a ring of fire. The eclipse will begin at about 4:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it will be between 28 and 29 degrees, depending on what part of the world you're in. I had this conversation with my Patreons yesterday, and we were talking about, like, in my neck of the woods in Arizona, I'm at a 28 degree, but someone out in New York is at a 29 degree. So it kind of just depends on location. But 28, 29 degrees. And this will be visible in the southern hemisphere, like Antarctica, parts of South America, and South Africa. And because it's in its last degrees, it will energize and activate that North Node Dragon's Head that's in Pisces right now. And this is where growth comes. This is where opportunities happen. Remember, the North Node is your destiny. It's your wheel of fortune. So it is about progressing into the future. That's going to be offered to a great many of us. Now, the new moon in Aquarius, the new moon, not the eclipse, but the new moon phase takes place at 7:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So probably for the West Coast, it's right there in alignment with the eclipse. Because what did I say? 4:11 a.m. Pacific. Well, 3 hours before 7:01 a.m. when the moon hits, let's see, 4:01. So it's kind of right there syncing. It's in sync. Now, this will be an intense eclipse due to its degree and the square with Uranus, which is today. The planet of rebellion and shocking news. That's Uranus. Not only is the 17th, there's a lot going on tomorrow. Not only is the 17th a new moon and a solar eclipse, but it's also the Lunar New Year, year of the horse. And just like I told my Patreons yesterday, remember, we were in the year of the snake. This was about shedding what no longer serves our greater good. This was about ridding ourselves of fears, phobias, situations. The year of the horse, this is the fire horse. This is taking charge, taking control back. Very powerful time. So we have the Lunar New Year, year of the horse. Then we have Mardi Gras that starts tomorrow, Fat Tuesday. And tomorrow at sundown, it is also the beginning of Ramadan. And not to mention, we have about 5 planets. The sun, the moon, the North Node, we have Venus, and we have Mercury. 5 planets all in conjunction with Aquarius tomorrow. That is a lot of Aquarian energy. Remember, radical changes, rebellion, revolutions. discoveries, things like that. Scary times to be alive, but also very exciting as well. Now, I will say this, with this 5-planet conjunction in Aquarius, there's one thing I want you all to remember, okay? This energy tomorrow is right place, right time kind of energy. It's a go for all of us, especially if you have a lot of Aquarian energy in your chart, or wherever Aquarius falls in your chart by house and sign, you are going to see some changes, progressive, positive changes. It's very exciting. A little scary too, but very exciting. So yes, it's a go for all of us. Now the solar eclipse is all about, this is the sun's energy. It's all about the outer expression, the appearance. It signifies a very powerful time for fated beginnings, meaningful transformations, and even fresh starts. They also bring destined opportunities and major shifts, forcing us out of our comfort zone and into uncharted waters. So I always say this, your dragon's head is the wheel of destiny, wheel of fortune, but it's always uncomfortable. It's always uncomfortable sitting there because we've never done it before, as to where we always feel comfortable sitting on our tail. It's a karmic residue from past incantations. We've done it before. We're comfy there. That's not where the stars want you. They want you uncomfortable. You know, that sounds crazy, but it's true. They want you uncomfortable, and they want you to progress forward. So, like I said, solar eclipses, it's all about the appearance and the outer expression. It signifies a very powerful time for all of us. This is about, you know, like I said, fated beginnings, but it's deep, deep transformations. It's like, how do I put this? Being indoctrinated for years and years and years and years and years, and then all of a sudden this liberation of knowledge comes your way, and you're going, everything is not what it seems. Okay, moving on. This impact, though, does depend on your own star chart by house and sign. The eclipse will be felt for the next 2 years and beyond. So this isn't one of those energies where it goes, it happens and it's done. It lingers. It's a lingering energy. All right, so Aquarius new moons are all about humanitarianism. It's about unconditional love, brotherly love. It's friendships, it's rebellion, it's revolution, it's innovation, it's discovery, and it's radical changes. Now, Aquarius's ruling planet is Uranus. I am a modernist, or I'm an ancient astrologer, not a modern astrologer. Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, not Saturn. I have a whole issue on that as well, so I won't get into it here. So yeah, it's all about, you know, definite Aquarian energy. This is where the earth can come alive because it is Uranic energy in some ways. With hurricanes, cyclones, earthquakes, volcanoes, intense weather patterns, electrical storms, even electrical outages. Remember, the 18th, Mercury goes retrograde, so in just a few days, ancient astrology, it's retrograde. I think it's like the 26th for modern astrology. So that is something you want to be aware of, and it is going into Pisces. But aeronautics and space news are always in the headlines too, and this is where electronics could act up at this time, especially once we're in that Mercury retrograde energy. So it's best to keep calm and reboot. Now, this eclipse is set to happen 3 days before the major Saturn-Neptune conjunction that only happens every 36 years. But this year it's very, very different. And here is why. I've had a lot of people ask me this. You know, I don't understand why it's so different. It happens every 36 years. Yeah, right. It does happen every 36 years. But it doesn't happen when it sits both planets in 0 degrees in Aries. We've never had this placement at 0 degree mark ever in human history. And then the next time this will happen will be in 2061. I'll probably be long gone. But this means that whatever new revelations you have, any ideas, even doesn't matter how bold of an idea they are, the execution of it must be solid and disciplined in order for it to manifest and execute it in the next few years. What happens tomorrow and a few weeks into this eclipse energy lay the foundations for your future ahead. So, this placement will be felt the strongest by, of course, Aries, because this is happening in 0 degrees in Aries, this conjunction, Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So it's like a clean slate. It's a restart. It's a restart. And it is really all about staying the course, remaining steady and harmonious as Neptune waters down fiery Aries, and Saturn will bring discipline to the Aries soul. So there's that, and that's very important. So a lot of Aries are going to have like spiritual awakenings these next 14 years. There might be some added responsibilities for Aries, but it's definitely going to affect Aries. It'll affect all of us by house and sign, but it'll definitely affect Aries. And I'm just happy Neptune's left my 3rd house. I was so sick of having that planet sitting on my 3rd house. Because I'll be honest with you, now that Pisces and Neptune have left my 3rd house, I feel my villain era coming on. I'm not mincing words. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not worried about your fucking feelings anymore. Okay? I was concerned with who was going to like me. How many likes am I going to get? Do I have to tiptoe around this with kid gloves and walk on eggshells? No. Aries has moved into my 4th, and the ancestors want me to speak. So that's what I'm going to do for the next 14 years. I will not remain silent anymore on certain matters. If the information I'm giving you doesn't resonate or takes you out of your comfort zone, I'm not the lady for you, okay? I'm not here to sugarcoat anything, because that's what the problem is. You've all had the realities and the truth sugar-coated and given half-truths, and now shit's coming out and being revealed, and you're starting to realize some things about certain things. Everything you thought you knew, you don't know. Everything you thought was real isn't. And everything that you thought wasn't real is becoming reality. Okay? It's like being in the upside down, just a little bit. Okay, moving on. Now, February 18th, the sun moves into Pisces and Mercury goes retrograde in the Nostradamus method. Now, February 22nd is going to bring a nice Venus-Jupiter trine. That'll keep your spirits high with positive outlooks. February 27th, the sun will conjunct the North Node in Pisces, and this could be the beginning of some sort of major event. I'm not going to try and bring fear here, but something major happens around this time, 26th, 27th, 28th. Major event or even a natural disaster of some sort. That's always a possibility. Now, the same day, Mars will square Uranus, making for very reckless, dangerous, and sudden actions with consequences. So this kind of worries me for our own government, because they're very unhinged. They're very erratic. They're very corrupt. Let's put it that way. And I'm going to say this before I go on, okay? I see it on social media. I see it everywhere. There's this battle between Democrat and Republican, left and right, okay? When you do shit like that and point fingers and, you know, make fun of this one, make fun of Joe Biden and make fun of Trump, I mean, it's easy to do. He's a fucking moron. We know this. But you are playing into the game and the system that they want you to be in. A system of division, okay? The Epstein files, even though there are a whole lot of truths that expose a whole lot of things and could bring the whole system down, this is a distraction for something bigger, okay? Something bigger is coming. January was intense. February is intense. March is going to be intense, but the other 2 months that will be intense will be July and August. And I can't get into why right now. My Patreons get that information first. But expect the end of this month for our government could become reckless and dangerous. There's something getting ready to happen. We'll have to wait and see. Now, the Moonic phase that's going to happen around 26th, 27th, this is going to bring very heavy emotions. And you can bet on America and the United Kingdom to make major headlines around the 26th. Now, let's hope it's in a more positive way, because all fixed signs, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and all the air signs, so that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and all souls born with a sun, a moon, a rising, or a dragon's head or tail in Aquarius will feel this solar eclipse, new moon energy strongly, and the strongest, the absolute strongest. Now, we do have a rare celestial event taking place at the end of the month on the 28th. We have a rare opportunity where you're going to see Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune aligned in the night sky, making this a very rare celestial event for stargazers and sky watchers. So if you're like me, I will be pulling out my telescope and I will be checking it out. Absolutely. Something to really take a look at. Now, Aquarius, you are the belle of the ball, so I am going to give you your forecast. This is your eclipse, new moon, so this will bring a massive personality and identity shift. You receive this energy right on your first house, January born Capricorns. It will probably be your second, but it still takes on first and second house energy. That is the beauty of being a cusp, baby. You get the duality of two. Let's see, where was I? So yes, this is about the self, soul's purpose, appearances, new beginnings, and first impressions. So it's for all of my Aquarian friends or souls born in the month of February. This is almost like a second new year or a second birthday wish. You are releasing the old and you are bringing on the new and improved Aquarius. With the dragon shifting in late July, right on you, positive, the possibilities here could be endless. Lots of changes happening for Aquarians in the next 2 years. Now, normally I would say that these next few weeks will lay the foundations for the future, but it's going to be more like the next 2 years that set the course, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this. I discussed this with Patreon, and I think I owe it to the general public to bring this up too. There's certain things I don't talk about on this platform that I do talk about over on Patreon, but so you'll find that some of the things, if you are a Patreon member, you're going to notice there's certain things on here that are edited because this is for the general public. All right, moving on. So, where was I? So the big Neptune-Saturn conjunction on the 20th is going to hit your third house, Aquarius, and this is the house of communication, it's intellect, it's transportation, it's mental clarity, siblings, friends, neighbors, and even writing. Some Aquarians could start writing a book, but this will be all about how you process information and taking your dreams into reality. Setting firm boundaries with friends and family will prevail, and rising above the noise, the chaos, and grounding thyself will be strong. Very important for my Aquarian souls, because all that energy is going to sit right on you. You're going to really have to ground yourself. You will feel out of sorts. This energy, though, you have all the tools to succeed, dear Aquarius. Endurance brings success. Slow and steady brings whatever your dreams are, Aquarius. You got this. Wishing you the absolute best. Now, like I said, I would say that these next few weeks do lay the foundation for the future. But like I said, it's the next 2 years. And like I've said before, we are getting ready to experience things that have never been recorded in human history. This is not to fear you, but we are heading into uncharted territory between now and even 2030 and beyond. The 17th does put us in kind of like the zenith of this Uranic energy happening, which is tomorrow. Patreon has all the dates. So if you want to join Patreon for $5, you can get all this information. I give quite a bit away for $5 tier. This always brings, this Uranic energy always brings like electrical issues. It could be internet outages, erratic weather, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, explosions, aeronautical and space issues. Stay the hell off airplanes for the next couple of days. You will regret it. Okay, don't board an airliner. This is also where, like I said, aeronautics and space, but it's also, you will hear about the strange and the bizarre happening. Unexplainable things happen, along with shocking events, surprises, and really abnormal and strange anomalies that take place. This is also the energy where portals open, and the cosmic fluid energy of our extraterrestrial brothers comes through. Let me explain this. And you can go ahead and get your damn tinfoil hat on, okay? I don't really give a damn. You can laugh all you want. Funny thing is, the starseeds are the ones that will be laughing last. Anyway, what I was trying to say here is that there are certain moon phases and certain celestial energies that make it a lot easier to transport to this planet. This eclipse is one of them, okay? And they'll use the power of the sun to harness this energy and slip through. But this is where portals open. There's, like I said, certain moon phases and opportunities for our futuristic brothers to come through. There are certain, this is one of those opportunities, and these portals for these portals of the unknown to open, and the beginning of contact will be made. Contact will be made. I'm saying that with my full chest. Between now, 2028. Full-on contact. And I was reading a book about extraterrestrials last night, and I said this to my Patreons. I think I said it in this newsletter before I go on. I did. Here it is. Contact will be made. Not all of us have the celestial identity to make this contact, but we will hear about it. And to some regards, that is true. This is why some people get abducted. This is why extraterrestrials make contact with certain souls, because they have the right celestial DNA. But I was reading this book last night on disclosure and whatnot, and it was talking about how it will be us as humans that they're going to give you the opportunity to make contact. It's your choice whether you make that contact or not. So maybe my perspective on that last sentence could be a little off. I'm human. I don't know everything. But maybe, you know, like I said, some people's celestial identity makes them more prone to having extraterrestrial experiences. But what I'm going to say here is maybe some of us or all of us will have that opportunity 20 years from now, 20 years from now, which is not that far off. The idea of us working side by side with non-humans isn't going to be as abstract as it is now. Right now, it's unfathomable. It's like, oh my God, that can't be. But 20 years from now, it's going to be the norm. But humans are going to take working side by side with our advanced souls and extraterrestrials for granted. So there's always problems that come with situations. But yes, contact will be made. And portals are going to open starting tomorrow. All right, now where was I? Now, February 27th, the U.S. and Great Britain could make headlines. The Munich phase also brings earthquakes, once again, water events, abrupt relocation for many. This is always where beginnings and endings of phases to life happen, and this is United States energy right here. This hits United States, so some event could take place that brings an ending of something and a beginning of something else for the nation. This energy at the end of the month, 27th, is going to be thick with heavy emotions. It's radical changes and things that can't be explained for now. There will be lots of exposure and revelations being made that will question really the very fabric of humanity and history for the next few years. Lots of exposure, lots of things coming out. I don't even know if I should say this here. I personally think everything is reversed. God is the devil and the devil is God. I'm starting to think that's it. Everything is reversed, because if you've read the Bible, if you've read some of the Tomalod, child slavery, rape, child sacrifice, pedophilia, they're all in those books. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. There's going to be lots of exposure and revelations happening. And like I said, we're going to question a lot of things. What we thought was real and true will not be accurate, because disclosure and contact will expose it all. Get ready for intense revelations, sudden clarities, and a stronger alliance for humanity with brotherly love. And new age matters of higher consciousness that no billionaire, no Republican, no Democrat is ever able to comprehend. Remember, nobody is coming to save you. If you think getting the Republicans out of office and bringing in all the Democrats is your answer, it's not. It's just another Band-Aid. The whole system needs to crumble down. Think of the Tower card in the tarot. Everything needs to be crushed back down so it could be rebuilt back up. That's what's happening to the United States as we speak. So yes, we are going to have to start building stronger alliances with our neighbors, our allies, our friends. Remember, we are one earth, one people, and one humanity. And whether you believe, in Creator, Allah, Jesus, it doesn't matter. Mother Gaia is always with us. And she will guide her children into the new paradigm shift, because that's exactly where we're at right now. We are in a paradigm shift, okay? And that is it for your new moon solar eclipse. Now, I do want to go over a few things here. for 2026 and beyond. Before I go into the tarot, I'm going to show you some of the tarot. I can't show you the whole tarot pull that I pulled yesterday, but I'm going to show you a few of the cards I pulled, because it's very important you see these. And I goofed because yesterday when I was pulling the tarot, I pulled the tarot with my glasses on, but you know, sometimes when I'm reading, you see me take my glasses off. It's because my eyes are hurting and they're tired. So I'll take my glasses off. Well, I shouldn't have done that because I misread one of the cards. So anyway, before I go into the tarot, it's what I want to go over here is I don't know how to explain this. We're going into things like once-in-a-lifetime events. And I've heard other astrologers, I've heard other star seeds, psychic mediums, etc. talking about this, okay? These are like once-in-a-lifetime events that have, like, I want you to think about this. These things haven't happened in over 14,000 years. Well, 14,000 years ago, that was the last paradigm shift, when the world was shifting from an Aries energy into a Pisces energy. Now we're going into a new paradigm shift, where the world is shifting from a Pisces energy into an Aquarian energy. Pisces, Aquarius, we're in the middle, the paradigm shift. There are things happening that haven't happened in 14,000 years. So things like Atlantis, that probably was an event that, celestially speaking, happened. It's very disruptive changes that are going to take each and every human being out of their comfort zone. It's a massive time for events. And we're just getting started. This is just the beginning, okay? This is where you're seeing, and this is the appropriate word for it. I couldn't word this any better. Perverse corruption. We are not just seeing corruption. We are seeing perverse corruption. Not just from all of our leaders, but from our own government, from other governments. Things are getting ready to be exposed. Perverse corruption. I want you to remember that word. It's like the perfect storm accumulating. And we are entering a new world, okay? There is an intense energy taking place here. And so, like I said, there's disruptive changes in the hot spots. Like I said, we're January, February, going to be a little bit of March, July, and August. That's going to be where the concentration of energy hits heavily. I'm looking at my notes. There's some things I can say here. And then there's some things I can't say here. I feel like I've said enough on here, but all beliefs are coming down. All of our belief systems are going to crush. And maybe it's me. I see things outside the box. So when these belief systems in our pantheons, whether, it's Jesus Christ, whether it's Allah, whether it's Odin and Freya, whether it's, it doesn't matter. I think all of these gods, goddesses are of a very ancient time. And they're probably extraterrestrial as well. I think Jesus Christ was extraterrestrial. It's just my opinion. I know. Tinfoil hat. I know. It's okay. I can handle it. I don't mind being the nut. All right, closing up here. So in conclusion to this conversation, before I go into the tarot, we're going into a time of rebalancing, and there are so many anomalies that are going to take place and events on the horizon. We will not know our ass from our elbow. There's just going to be so much shit taking place in the next 2 years. And we're going to go, what? What I'm worried about the most, though, and this isn't in my notes, this is what I'm seeing, is we as a world, as a nation, as a people are going to be so busy infighting with each other and fighting and fighting and fighting that we're not going to see what's coming from above. It could be a comet, asteroid, whatever. We're going to be so busy fighting with each other, we're going to miss it. And that could be game over. So can nukes. You know, we have the opportunity right now going into the age of Aquarius to either promote humanity and liberate them into higher consciousness, or we just start nuking each other and deplete the planet, kill ourselves, game over, we're done. I hope not. Time will tell. 2026 is a time where it's the planting stage. It's where seeds are being planted, okay? And our government is doing things so they can see how far they can get away with things before you rise up, okay? So these events that are taking place in our country, in our world, these are the seeds that are being planted. They want to see if we're going to let them grow and whatnot. 2027 is going to be terrifying, but also exhilarating. It's a 50-50, where it's going to be like, holy crap, what a time to be alive, and oh my God, I wish I was dead. No, I mean, that's just kind of the energy it's going to be. After 2028, it's the end. We're not going back to the old ways. If you don't, I don't know how to put this. '28, you're going to have two choices. You're going to either live in a dystopian society, or your society is going to be pure utopia. Okay? You can't have it both ways. It's one or the other. So you have to make the choice as human beings with the seeds they're trying to plant now. Are you going to let them grow? Are you going to pull them out like weeds and plant your own shit? Anyway, we're in for some interesting events, and there's some astrological things that are going to take place like well into 2060 that you don't hear astrologers ever talking about. I'll talk about that at a later date, but I can't show you the whole spread, and I goofed yesterday, took my glasses off and thought I was reading the Knight of Wands. In reality, I drew 3 cards, and then I wanted more meaning for each 3. So I drew 6 and 1 oracle, 7. I can't give you all of those, but I am going to give you the 2 middle cards, and that is going for, let's see, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th of this month. So the first card up is King of Swords. It is an Aquarius card. It is ruled by the god Uranus, which makes absolute sense. This card is like so appropriate for our stars, okay? Absolutely appropriate. This is the intellect, the shrewd operator. This is about discipline and rationality. This is law, authority. Like I said, heavy Aquarian energy. This is where people are going to start really disciplining themselves, planning, correlating with their neighbor next door. What can I bring? What can I give? What can I do? We're going to have to start bartering with each other, helping each other, things like that. But this is a very, very appropriate card for this eclipse. This is the eclipse card in some ways. It's very rational energy here. It can be irrational, but the moon is new, so it's about mastering your intellect. Okay. Now I asked for more meaning to this card. I would like more meaning to this card. And I drew the King of Wands. Now, you know, the King of Wands is the Leo card. This is strength. So it makes sense that I pulled 2 king cards that are rulers, that are warriors. One is this one is the brave warrior. It's the masculine energy. It's leadership. It's overcoming obstacles and challenges. What else can I say about this? Let's see. Strength, vitality. You put these two together, that's a revolutionary. That's revolutionary right there. That's a revolution, or revolutionary events getting ready to take place. That's what those 2 cards mean to me. And the King of Wands is the god Cronus. So there's that. Now, interesting enough, when I pulled the Oracle card, I drew the yin and the yang. I drew it reverse. There it is upright, but I did draw it in reverse. It's number 22, reversed. And like I said, I haven't memorized these like I have the tarot. So, it is in reverse. So this can be the yin yang. It's either passive and active or intuitive and logical. So when it is in reverse, I'll hold this card up again. This card reverse reveals a yang cycle, which is one of active, outgoing energy. This time calls for more logical approaches to things, but the logic needs to be applied to purposeful action. That's where these 2 come in. One is deep intellect. The other is warrior. You're going to have to use your brains and your brawn. Okay? Brains and brawn. But always remember... Oh, I lost my place here. Sorry, kids. Where the hell did it go? There it is. There. Okay. This heralds a yin cycle where... Oh, excuse me. It's a logical approach to things. This cycle is often marked by creativity and a new beginning, sometimes with significant outer changes. Let yourself apply more forceful energy to the task at hand and take advantage of this highly charged yang time. The yang time, remember, it's logic, it's reason, it's intuitive and logical. So you're going to hear things in the news and you're going to go, that's such bullshit. And there is so much going on in the world that our news is not even reporting on. Go look up Australia and what's happening there. Holy crap. But none of your news outlets are reporting on it. So there is that. That is your forecast. I'm wishing all of you a very wonderful solar eclipse energy, new moon. Just kind of go with it, roll with the flow, roll with it, because it's going to get crazy as time goes on. Like I said, 2026 is planting the seeds. 2027 will be either terrifying or exciting, depending on what seed you let the oligarchy plant. 2028, we're at the point of no return. So, choice is up to all of you. Bury your head in the sand, or look and seek the true knowledge and answers that we rightfully deserve, because knowledge is power and liberation is power. Staying ignorant, staying indoctrinated brings you the ultimate death. And I leave you with that. Blessed be.